At times, Gary, it wasn't the sensational footballing feast we perhaps hoped it would be, but boy, is that a big goal and a big win.
Well, I think we're going into the game thinking there's going to be a lot of goals in it, and a lot of class shown on the pitch, but ultimately it wasn't really down to that. The irony is that we've actually beat Arsenal with a set play, isn't it? But it wasn't pretty at times from either side, but I think the two teams really cancelled each other out. You could see that there was a lot of nerves in the game. Passing wasn't fantastic, movement wasn't brilliant. A lot of the game got broken up and a lot of tired legs out there at the end of the game. I think a few lads had cramp on both sides. But all in all, we said at the beginning of the game, the build up to the game, it might just be a bit of brilliance that wins this, and that's what it was. It was a fantastic effort from Dominic Szoboszlai. I saw him lining up, and I think I said to Thomas, he fancies this, or he fancies it. It was a long way out as well, but he hit it ever so sweetly, and he had that little bit of swerve and that little bit of dip, and a fantastic strike. And to be honest with you, it was a game that, had it been a draw, I don't think anybody could have complained, to be quite honest with you.
I think it was going to be one moment of brilliance or a right howler by either side, which was going to cost. And it was such a strike. It was just wonderful. So out of context, really, with the offensive stuff from both sides. And we were saying there's so much good attacking talent that was going to be on this pitch, and at those ends of the pitch, that's where it failed to actually deliver. I think both defences today were more on top. I felt Arsenal felt a little bit they didn't want to step out. They won, that's why it didn't make for a great game. They just thought, no, we'll do that, we'll try and hit them on the break. As we said before, we'll try a set play. And I think they've had that in the mind tonight.
I think when you look at the match stats from today's game, they kind of underline the point that it wasn't a match overflowing with quality. The stat that really stands out, big chances, not a single big chance for either of the two teams. I just wonder how much of that tightness, that caginess was down to two things, Gary. One, both sides know that the other team is one of their rivals, so there's that fear of losing to them so early into the season, but also respect for what they could do to you if you do open up, you do leave space.
Well, I think there is great deal of respect between the two teams. I think it would suggest that. You look at the fixtures in the last few years, so tight, so close. I think what doesn't help as well, it's the third game in, it's the game before an international break as well. Teams are not really up and running at this moment in time. I think you could see that from the game as well, that there was a lot of misplaced passes, there's a lot of mistimed tackles, it was a little bit edgy at times, and both teams suffer from that, not just Liverpool. I thought Arsenal probably had the better of the first 45 minutes, and possibly Liverpool the better of the second 45 minutes. So they kind of cancelled each other out in many ways, and as Tom rightly says, it was just going to be that one bit of brilliance that separated the two teams. And as I say, I thought Dominic Szoboszlai, again playing at that right full-back position, had a fantastic game, and it was fitting that he probably got the winning goal.
A lot of effort put in by both sets of players, and I thought a couple of guys to really pick out from our team today. We'll mention Dominic a bit later on, but Kirkies, who's had a bit of adapting to do since joining the club,
Agreed.
Dealt really well with the pace of Madueke and generally what came at him down that left-hand side. And beyond him, I think you also look at Ibu Konate and how well he defended today after a difficult night at St James's Park. Both excellent.
He didn't try to complicate things tonight. You could see in there he was happy to be in his defensive role, to give the ball quite easy. We kept the ball at the back. There was no risk. I can't remember him taking a risk of any sort, and that's what you've got to do. But you're quite right. You look at them, two players coming into this game where question marks were about the performances. I thought Kirkies was outstanding. Madueke, at times you could see, probably had the legs of him in a sprint, but he did very well to get back to sort of fight his corner, and I thought Kirkies was excellent. And you say about how the two teams, there must have been 4 or 5 on each side going down with cramp, and which that's the high intensity, the energy levels, what each exerted, and you could see it was very evenly matched.
I think what Kirkies did do, he dealt very well with the one-on-one situations. Yeah. He was left a lot of times exposed one-on-one, but he managed to deal with that. I still like that. I think there's a little bit of growth in there. There's a little bit like to get better with the communication between him and Gakpo, and plus the fact that going forward, the combination between the two is not quite there at this moment in time. But you got to remember, I mean, for like 2 or 3 years, we probably had the two best fullbacks in world football with Andrew Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. So it's going to take a wee while to get that kind of combination down both flanks, both down the left-hand flank and the right-hand flank.